Hey guys, this is Icarus, and I have a new bot to show you guys. Um, so I picked up Splashforce just about a week ago, and I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what it's like. If you don't have it, if you're thinking about buying it, it's had really, really good success lately against Yeezysupply. Excited about what's going to happen here on April 14th for the Alphas, the 700 V3 black ones that are coming out. And it's great because this weekend we're going to really see how it works because we'll have Adidas dropping. We're going to have Yeezysupply dropping. We're going to have Supreme dropping tomorrow, the emotion logos. Shopify doesn't work on this bot, even though it's advertised. It's broken right now. And I'm not sure if fix has been fixed. But right now, I wouldn't count on those. Right now, the main areas that Splashforce is working on is Yeezysupply is number one. Then we think Adidas, it's working pretty well. It's been a while since Adidas has done a drop. So we're going to find out this weekend. And then Supreme. Supreme's supposed to be doing pretty good. There's other bots out there that are doing really well. But if you want to use the resources that you have, Splashforce is one that a lot of people will be running tomorrow. I guess tomorrow for the motion logos. So let's go through and see what you got. So to navigate this bot, you have a taskbar along the top. You have dashboard. You have your task creation, your proxy assignments, your accounts that you create. So this is accounts to log in to a page. Then you have your billing, and this is where your profiles are. And then you have your settings, and then you have a dashboard to navigate. I usually start with settings, so let's go to settings. So settings are pretty simple. You have your webhook that you can shoot. So you'll get webhooks by default will send your payment successes and failures. So you'll get both, unfortunately. Well, I guess fortunately too, so you can see what's going on. You're going to have your delays that you can set here. So your error and monitor delays. They've just added support for this AYCD. I've never used it. It's really getting popular lately to help with all of the captures and automation. I brought up the webpage here. I think I guess it's sold out right now. It's pretty expensive, $50 a month to help you with your clicks. But as of now, the people that I know that have been very successful with Splashforce are not using this. So I don't think it's a necessity, but it might be a nice to have. Anyways, there's support there now. And then there's this browser hardware acceleration. And I guess we'll just jump into what this does. The CAPTCHA, the way Splashforce works against these sites is you have to have a lot of CAPTCHA activity to make sure that you look like a human when you're trying to get through queue. You're waiting for a long time against Yeezysupply because those drops really aren't that quick. So browser hardware acceleration, if you don't have this on, relies on your GPU, and it slams the crap out of your GPU. And you need a lot of CAPTCHA harvesters out there if you're going to run a lot of tasks. So what this does is it allows you to push some of that against your GPU. So if you're running from a home PC, which I've always said is a viable location, having this on works. One of the developers, Clark, or the support person, Clark, in the Splashforce says some people have seen some success having browser hardware acceleration on when you're running a virtual machine on the cloud. But you're really going to see the most, I think, when you have a dedicated GPU box. So that's settings. Then we're going to go to your billing. We'll kind of go backwards. This is where you set up your information. Your profile name is here at the very end, so you'll type in your billing. You can have ship to billing if you want, and your credit card information, and then give it a name. And then later you can actually kind of go through here and pick your profiles. Accounts is for setting up login accounts. I don't have any. I haven't used it. Maybe I need this for Adidas. I'm not sure, but this is it for accounts. So this is just standard proxy settings. Nothing fancy here. But let's go into creating tasks. So creating tasks is pretty simple. You're going to select your site, since this really only supports a couple things. You're going to go Adidas, Yeezysupply, or Supreme. So let's say, so you go to Yeezysupply. That's the most common one. You're going to put in your product ID. Now here you're going to select the billing profiles that you want tasks made for. You can go to quantity, always set that to 1. So here's the size. You can set size 3, or sorry, size. You can select your size. You can put multiple. So if you do this, and then you select multiple profiles, like 2 profiles, so a task will be made for profile 1 for size 10, and then 1 for a 10.5. If you go down at the end, you can select random, and then there's kid sizes and so on. Proxies, you're always going to set this to true. You're going to want to run proxies. You're going to run a lot of tasks. Recap 3 right now for Yeezysupply is true. If you have Splashforce, you're going to want to make sure you're in the Discord. And then the release type is going to be almost a waiting room. So on the last drop, they were supposed to be, Yeezysupply was supposed to be doing a new waiting room style waiting room new. But if you know how that drop went, the Cinder Reflectives, it was really, really bad. So the site reverted back to the standard waiting room release type. This is what you use to get through. I got through 6 times. So there you go. With 100 tasks. You can schedule tasks if you want to, if you know, like, Adidas is going to come up at 10. But really, you don't want to start your tasks until stock goes live. That's kind of secret to this. Watch Splashforce. Their site will tell you when to actually start your tasks. So define them, but don't start them. And then you can select your delays here. What I found is that you kind of, if you want to change something, if you go to 1,000, it'll make tasks. It'll make some tasks, but you want it to stick. You're gonna want to do 3,000 and kind of click this button on and off, and it'll stick there. And then all your tasks will just go off on 3,000. So 3,000 and up is really what you want to set this to for Yeezysupply. Adidas, I'm excited to see what this looks like, but it's going to be very similar. You're going to have your same product set up here. You're going to want to put your caption, which is probably going to be true. We're going to see what Splashforce tells us what to do right before the drop, but here's the view and recap. Will probably be 3. All right. So I guess that's pretty much it. You select create and you make your tasks. And then you have dashboard. And one of the things I like about Splashforce is that this dashboard is actually very clean. It lets you kind of see your tasks in a very neat way. Because, if I'm looking at my Yeezysupply tasks, so this was for the reflectives, which I still have set up here. I ran individual sizes. I could be running random. Anyways, I had 90 tasks here selected. And it's not busy with everything else. And then I could go to Supreme and then see my tasks here. What you can't do is there's no mass edits. This is mass edit all, where you can do all of them, but you can't like select tasks. So you can't say I want to select these 5 tasks and turn the caption on or off, which is okay. I mean, in reality, I don't think you need. If you're setting up right, you don't need to do that. Let's see. So there's 2 capture solvers. So there's the standard capture solver here, and then there's your recap 3. You're going to want to be running this one here, recap 3. I think for at least for Yeezysupply, probably Adidas as well. And then this will probably be used for Supreme. Start all, stop on. That's it. And the cool thing is, I wish I had the sound effect for it. But you hear like you'll be running. And it'll say waiting and splash. And when you get through splash, you get this little popping bubble. It's just like this little pop. And it's kind of like clicky sound. It's kind of cool. And then, and then what stinks is you can't sort by status. So you got to kind of scroll up and down your window and find what you have there. So that's pretty much it for Splashforce. There's one last thing I guess that's kind of important to know is that with this bot, don't ever rent out this bot if you have it, because key is kind of bound to the app, and then if you open and close it is when it's resetting the key. So anybody can grab that key and run with it. You can't like turn it off of a certain server. It's not registered to a certain machine. It's registered to whatever machine is running last on, or the IP that's running last on, and it's just not designed for sharing. So if you rent it out, you could get your keys stolen, and that becomes a problem. And then if you're renting it out, it may not be insured. Other people that person has been renting out to could also be using your key. So this is not a bot that you want to do rental for. The great thing is you can buy it through Bot Market to get a fresh key. For that reason, I wouldn't buy it off of a secondary market where the key is not reset, even if they have burner discords, unless you 100% trust the person. Bot Market will, or Bot Broker, sorry. Bot Broker will give you a fresh key every time. So that's probably the safest way to buy Splashforce on the used market if you don't get it off their jobs. So that's it. That's Splashforce. Right now the version is 3.129. We'll see if there's any updates. I'm going to try to do a live comp with this for Supreme and see how it goes. I'm also going to be running VLAX side by side. It'll be kind of fun. See which one does best. And I guess that's it. I hope you guys liked it. I will be probably talking about SwiftSoul again soon. SwiftSoul is a cool little iOS bot that's kind of on the side that just kind of helps to have. It's probably not what your main bot, but it's something. And we'll be having a video about that soon. So let me know what you guys want to see. I'm going to keep trying to get stuff. Bots are expensive, so I can't have much. But that's it. All right. I'll see you guys. Thanks.